on se live. Ça charge exactement. C'est quand on commence. Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to the Industry Talks. Today I have the pleasure of welcoming Velogic to present on the following topic, smart bikes for fleet tracking and maintenance optimization. This conversation will be moderated by Laure Paquet, the communications manager of Velogic.
Bonjour,
so Laure, c'est à vous.
Cette conférence présentée par PCO.
Hello. Thank you for attending this business talk. So I'm Laure Parquet and I will be the presenter of this panel. We'll speak about smart bikes and how they could improve maintenance processes and bike fleet management. We are with Pierre-Edouard Senior from MFC, a bike manufacturer, Pierre Renier, CEO of Velco, which provides connectors, and Emmanuel Grave from Velogic, specialized in bike maintenance. So first, I will let the speakers introduce themselves. Hello, Pierre-Edouard, could you introduce yourself and MFC?
Sure, with pleasure. Hello, Laure. MFC, as it is written on the PPT, stands for Manufacture Française du Cycle. And it was founded 95 years ago in 1925. It is the birthplace of the famous bicycle brand Gitane. At that time, of course, there was no IoT at all on bikes. MFC was bought in 2012 by Intersport France, and since the company is completely reboosted. Actually, we have the first bike plant in France with more than 450,000 bikes produced in 2020. And in France, on e-bike market share, we are also number one, with close to 100,000 bikes produced in 2020. In all of this, mobility is one of the 4 MFC strategic axes. Today, we already deal with some sharing bike company, like Smooth for Vélib in Paris, or long-term rental company, like JC Deco in Nantes. On this axis, we developed a specific partnership with Velco to enable us to offer to collectivities and operators a unique solution already embedded in bike. Personally, I joined the company in 2017 as a project manager specialized in electronic and power architecture. Today, my main tasks are to manage IoT project, e-bike project, and e-bike R&D team.
Thank you. We are also with Pierre Renier from Velco. Hello.
Hello. So thank you very much to be there. My name is Pierre, and actually Velco, we provide connectivity solutions for urban mobility, especially e-bike. And our clients are bike manufacturers, such as MFC, to launch connected bike on the retail market. But we are working also with a fleet manager for short-term, long-term, and free-floating renting. So actually, Velco is a French leader for connectivity provider solution, and we equip more than 30,000 units in 2020, and our main goal is to be the European leader in 2024. We are more than 30 people based mainly in Nantes, but also in Netherlands and soon in Germany also in 1 month. So we trust mainly in the sense of change from our customers. So we like change, and we especially like the change for the integration of the IoT on the e-bike. We trust also in reliability, and we're very enthusiastic to work on connectivity to make our world more sustainable also for micro-mobility. So we have been working with MFC for 1 year, close to 1 year, and Velogic for 6 months on the connectivity subject, and also maintenance. So personally, I'm 28 years old, and I'm based in Nantes. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Velco, and I created Velco with my colleagues Romain and Johnny in 2016. And my background is engineering and business. before that.
Thank you. And eventually, Emmanuel Greve from Velogic. Thank you to be with us.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. I am Emmanuel, and I act as a CPO at Velogic Digital. I mean, I make sure that the software we deliver always meet the user expectations on a daily basis. Before Velogic, I was working at Volvo Group, assigned on the Volvo Business Intelligence software, analyzing the live data broadcast by cars, trucks, buses, construction equipment, and workshops. This BI solution was to help managers to take strategic decisions for the brand and make the vehicle reaching the zero downtime. When it comes to Velogic, this is a fantastic company, founded in 2008 and expert in business-to-business bike maintenance services, including repairs, logistics services, and providing related software on the French market and abroad very soon. Velogic doesn't want just to make your fleet up and running and provide standard maintenance services. Velogic gives you a 5-star solution in order to reduce continuously the downtime of every single bike included in your fleet, increasing your customer satisfaction and reducing the money you will spend in maintenance. As a result, we are very happy to operate in Paris for Velib, by example, Veligo and many fleet operators, but we also operate in Lyon, Bordeaux, and Glasgow. In parallel, we have built one of the best suite of software dedicated to soft mobility market, including a fleet manager system named VeloClick, a maintenance system named VeloCare, and a customer claim services named VeloDesk. This suite of software is available for everybody, included in the cycling industry, fleet from 10 to 100,000 bikes. Thank you.
So thank you very much. Before getting into the heart of the matter, I would just have a word about the cycling mobility background. Cycling mobility has exploded in recent years. More and more people opt for cycling as a means to commute in Europe. So there are more and more bikes on roads. For example, the practices increased by 27% in France in 2020 outside of lockdown. E-bikes are leading the way in this growth. We have noticed an increase of 29% of e-bikes sold in France in 2020 and of 43% in Germany. So we can see the same trends all over Europe, and these trends accelerate with the pandemic. In the same way, the bike share fleets are expanding, of course, in big cities, but also in smaller ones. In this context, maintenance is crucial to ensure the growth of the cycling mobility. Maintenance allows riders to use a bike as a reliable and durable mode of transport, and the needed expertise grows as technology and habit evolves with e-bike, cargo bikes, and of course, smart bikes. So, what is a connected bike? What riders and particularly commuters could expect from it, especially in a sharing system? What data could be collected and how? And eventually, what are the benefits for the fleet managers and operators? So these are the issues we deal with today. So Pierre-Edouard, could you explain us what are the cyclist expectations about the bike and particularly about smart bikes?
Thank you, Laure, for this really interesting question. I would like to answer it from a sharing bike point of view. Edwin can say that the cyclist expectation about their smart bicycle can be based on 6 pillars, which are, as you can see here, easy, availability, reliability, comfort, security, and finally cost. First of all, users need their bike to be easy to use. And on a sharing bike scheme, mass is a key point of it. Mobility as a service. Oh, sorry, I lose my word. Users need an all-inclusive service when they are using their bike. For example, on a sharing scheme, a connected bicycle will be able to be integrated with the other systems of public transport. For example, the user can pick up one bicycle with the same smartphone app as his subway ticket. We can even think to suggest to the user the best transport mix, taking into account the available bikes close to the bus station. Talking about available bikes, the next reason is availability. When I say availability, I'm talking first about availability of the bike. And with a smart bike, the user can know before renting the bike, where are the available bikes. You cannot do this with a classic bike or classic e-bike. Your bike needs to be smart. But I'm also thinking about infrastructure availability. The data that are collected thanks to the IoT device embedded on bicycle gives precious statistics to the local authority. It will help them to decide where to build the best and well-sized bicycle infrastructure, like parking station and bike lane. Another important benefit of smart bike is reliability. Without a smart bike, the users that want to ride a sharing bike cannot know before taking it that the bike do have a too low battery state of charge. With a smart bike, before renting the bike, the customer is able to know if the battery state of charge is high enough to achieve the scheduled ride. Reliability concerns also the maintenance. I think that Velco and Velogic, the expert of maintenance, will explain it better later. But what I want to say is that with the preventive maintenance offered by those two companies, the user can be confident into the reliability of its bicycle. The next point I would like to explain is the comfort. If you want the user to ride often their bike, and it is what everyone wants here, it needs to be comfortable. People don't want to sweat before arriving to their date. E-bike makes this easy compared with classic mechanical bike. Okay, everyone knows what an e-bike is. I will not explain it again, but what we should keep in mind is that there is a battery. And with this battery, you can supply the assist power, of course, but you can also supply the IoT device inside. And you are sure with an e-bike that the user will charge his battery. Whereas charging a mechanical bike for an IoT device can be a vain wish. As a conclusion, choose an e-bike if you want a smart bike. Then we have safety. Users don't want their bike to be stolen. So with a smart bike, you can add an anti-theft system or a location device, and you can convince users to buy an e-bike with this. And last but not least, it is the cost. The French organization called ADEME, that I think organized also this exhibition, released a survey last year in May 2020 that shows a bicycle is the cheapest way of transport per kilometer. First, there is a price of an e-bike that is roughly 1,500 € as a mean price. This is much cheaper than a car and a scooter. Then it is cheaper to park thanks to its smart floor surface. I can also quote the maintenance cost per year that is really low compared with the fuel motorized means of transport. So a bike or an e-bike is already cheap. And if you take a smart bike, it is even cheaper. I already told it before, local authority can optimize investment of bicycle infrastructure thanks to the statistic. The operator can also make preventive maintenance to avoid expensive reparation. And that's it. Here we are all the benefits of the smart bike. And to put them in a nutshell, cyclists do have big expectations about the smart bike. It is their new means of transport for their daily trip. So it needs to be as much as easy and comfortable to use as the other means of transport. It also must be reliable every time the cyclist needed to make his ride. And finally, if you want to concern people, the cost and security are totally the crux.
Thank you very much. Pierre Renier, could you explain us now how to connect a bike and what is the collected data?
Yeah. So thank you, Pierre-Edouard. So how to connect a bike? So there is a process to do that. A connected bike, as Per Edouard said, we provide to the user a better road safety, decrease and dissuade theft, and also make our mobility more sustainable thanks to predictive maintenance. But to do that, there is different steps that need to be prepared and done. So the first one is to work on the need. So how to create value for the users, for the fleet manager and for the cities, but also for the different partners which are working on the maintenance, for example, such as Velogic. So the first step is to work on it. The second one is to find the right hardware. The right hardware which will fit with the bike, so for the integration, but also in terms of features. What is the limit of the hardware embedded in the vehicles? So when you solve this second step, you can work on the software part. So the software part will give access to the data, thanks to the API, for example, but also with log access to SaaS solution. And there is different kind of SaaS solution, which can be also custom to your needs. So you need to take care about the needs, also the hardware and the software part. So all of these three steps are very important. And if you if the expectation, the needs are not well defined, the process will take a longer time. And the last step is to deliver. So validate a prototype. And when the prototype is validated, you can scale your connected bike production and delivery also. So for example, at Velco, we provide different kind of hardware that you can embed on the vehicle. So a connected bike, a connected handlebar, for example, the new tracks, but also the technology in with different factor form, such as a black box or different kind of connected bike, the connected handlebar. So the way we work is to find the best integration on the e-bike. And our software has different features. For example, we provide a fleet management system. So this will help the fleet manager to manage a bike and also work on predictive maintenance. We provide also a software to the bike makers to provide to him traceability on the e-bikes, allow him to test also the e-bike at the line of production, and also provide them feedbacks also on failure data. We also provide the APIs to partners, for example, Velogic for maintenance, but also cities, for example, Ile-de-France Mobilité in Paris. And we also work on activity report. So Pierre-Edouard explained it just before me, to work on infrastructure, the planification of the infrastructure for e-bikes. And the last thing is a user, the mobile app for the end user. And this, the main goal is to enhance the user experience. So to provide them different statistics, encourage them, the user, to move on the e-bike, and also protect their e-bike. Try alarm, for example, this kind of features. And so the last thing is which kind of data can we catch on the e-bike. So, for example, we catch the geolocalization of the e-bike, also different data on the usage. We catch also more than 70 data from the bus scan, so from the batteries, the controller, the display also. And we analyze this kind of data. We aggregate them with some other open data in API, and we process them, and we provide them to partners, such as Velogic for the maintenance. And there is two main challenge on this kind of data. The main challenge is to be compliant with GDPR, but also secure this kind of data before to providing them to partners also. So this is our job and what we do in Velco to provide and to connect a connected e-bike.
Thank you very much. Emmanuel Guev, could you explain us now how the data could be centralized and with what purpose? And also how the data could be used in the bike maintenance process?
Yeah, perfect. That's a very good question. As Pierre said to us, they provide a lot of data, and this data must be centralized. As I told you when I introduced myself, Velogic provides a suite of dedicated software to help a fleet manager to pilot their activities from a maintenance point of view and reduce the bike downtime. If we mix the two datas, I think we can do something good. Since the beginning, we have collected a lot of raw data from VeloClick, our fleet manager web solution, VeloCare, the repair maintenance follow-up tool, some figures, 150,000 repairs, 10,000 swaps, 40,000 customer claims, about 100 bike leasings booking done with our services. And we predict this data will double in the next 12 months. So we have decided to reveal the potential of all this data we collect so far in order to create a better ecosystem and make big impact for our users, for our customers, and for our partners like MFC or Velco. This collected data from our system can talk a lot and provide a lot of information, but compiling data is the key. This data must be mixed with the data coming from other systems, like the Velco one, for live data, because this will be the only way to understand the user behavior and how they take care of their bikes. This is what we call the insight into real usage. When we know final users' behavior and how they really use the bike on a daily basis, how the bike is maintained, we can understand in a better way the reason of failure, the most frequent repairs we have faced in the past, and we can predict with a very good accuracy the most frequent repairs we will face in the future. This prediction of behavior is really important and already included in the car truck's quality strategy. When you know the trend of the future, you can also adapt your logistical and repair strategy. Listening to data help us optimizing our maintenance process, reducing the time final users will wait until the bike is repaired, and increase the customer satisfaction accordingly. With this kind of predictive data in our pockets, Velogic is always one step ahead, and our partners too. I will detail some of our success story and around it in a few minutes. But first, I would like to show you how we deal with data at Velogic. So, introducing the Velogic Bike Data Hub. The Bike Data Hub, its purpose is to store all the data we generate at Velogic. But the data hub is not dedicated to Velogic usage only. If we only take conclusion about the data we generate from a bike maintenance point of view, we only see the tip of the iceberg and we can miss a lot of information. As you can see on the screen, our Bike Data Hub is the center of a huge system involving many partners. Bike manufacturer like MFC, e-bike connected system like Velco, but also bike retailers, spare part factories, bicycle identification system, fleet manager softwares, insurance company, and maybe you, because you can be an asset for us, but our data, our compiled data can also be an asset for your business. We also use data from other system like open system to receive information we won't have from any partners, like cartography data, weather forecast, weather information, data from government about specific decision, and so on. Every partners I have mentioned, and maybe you, can insert data from their source system using our API. This is a secure way to store the private data in a long-term way. And this will be mixed with the data we already have in the Bike Data Hub, analyzed, tortured, in order to extract every single information we can have and send back a compiled data or additional information, useful for your purpose and for the benefit of your users. Velogic offer a few set of software every single partners can use as control board, KPI control reports, and so on, in order to monitor its own data and the results of the analysis we make with the full data set we have. This Bike Data Hub is provide a peer-to-peer API for our partners, customers, and stakeholders in order to receive a consolidated raw data they can use by their own in their own solution based on the data they have injected in the hub. As I said, this Bike Data Hub purpose is to make a secured way to store data, but also to share this data with others it could concern, but always in a private way. It means for Velogic, with great power comes great responsibility. Taking care of the data we collect, sharing it and leverage it for all the cycling industry is our responsibility. We have have made few conclusions to make the bike industry in a better way. We shouldn't keep this data for ourselves. Let's take, by example, two use cases we have from our experience, and you will appreciate how strong could be the analysis we can make with the data from the hub. From a privacy point of view, I won't be able to reveal the customer name. This is one of the hub logic. The first use case was about a waterproof issue. We detected things thanks to the weather. Here is the thing. Two data sets have been compared in the beginning. First, the weather history in the city this customer operates, and especially the rainfall data for the 12 previous months. Then the variety of breakdown we had in VeloCare, so the maintenance services system we have for this customer. We were stupefied to discover an interesting correlation. We have detected that for a specific range of bike, when the weather is rainy, the number of breakdown on a specific critical spare part was increasing. After further analysis with the data, we were able to conclude about a very small waterproof issue on the side of the bike frame, very, very small, causing this breakdown as a side effect. As soon as we have received this analysis from the hub system, we have sent back to customer who have redirected to the bike manufacturer in order to improve the quality of the bike frame. Today, this bike frame is now under a redesign activity in order to avoid this waterproof issue, which was nearly invisible. The second use case is about the battery. The battery, if we only focus on the number of battery we have repaired for this customer, it was okay. But when we have joined this data with the detail of the breakdown and the detail of the repairs, we have identified that 50% of the battery breakdown were linked to a waterproof issue too. Waterproof issue caused by a final user mistake or a technician mistake when we prepared the bike. You know, this small plastic item which cost 1 cent to the factory will cost several thousands euros in breakdown because the final customers or the technician doesn't place it in the good way on the battery. Taking this result as account, we have improved the way we make the final users aware of this when we deliver the bike at the first time, and we also improved our checkout checklist after every single repairs in order to make sure the plastic cover can last until the next time we see the bike. We have informed the battery manufacturer, who have made a very good improvement on this cover, and we have reduced the number of battery swaps by 1/3. So let's imagine now the possibility for the cycling industry, if we have the possibility to make all the data we can share in common. This would be possible to track every single smart bikes from the factory to the destruction. Local communities could use this data to predict the citizen needs, understand how the citizens use the soft mobility services, the need of bike lockers, for example, depending on the district. Insurance company could be able to adapt their contracts depending on the city, the type of bike, the type of bikers, and so on. Factories could anticipate the need and the customer needs and prioritize maybe some spare parts building. And from our perspective, we could reach the zero downtime, as we will be able to understand what will be the next breakdown before it happens. With Velogic Data Hub, the bike we will always watch your bike. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this explanation. Just to conclude, perhaps you could sum up the benefits of smart bikes for actors of cycling industry. Perhaps Pierre-Edouard Signor, from your manufacturer point of view, what are these benefits?
Our view at MFC is that the future of bike scams is connected e-bike. This is why we partner with Velco to offer a completely embedded solution that will favor cycle usage in our cities, helping cyclists, operators, and city management. On top of that, we can also help influencing behaviors, so positive communication of health benefits and also environmental benefits. Connectivity can also be a strong communication support to help people adapting their behavior by understanding how good it is. Good for our planet, good for our health, and good for our money, of course.
Thank you. Pierre Renier, what are the main advantages of connected bike for you?
So actually, connectivity become a standard on new e-bikes and new brand. And so to conclude in few words, actually a connected bike will allow us to prevent theft, increase road safety again, and make our e-bike more sustainable thanks to predictive maintenance. So this is our the main goal of the e-bike. And for me, it is my conclusion for this talk.
Thank you very much. So now it seems that we have some questions from the attendees. The first one is for you, Pierre. What is the content of usage data that are collected? Speed, kilometers, user IDs, and so on?
Yeah, so we don't catch user IDs. Actually, we catch technical data from the vehicles. So, for example, it is kilometers, CO2 saved, for example, the flux also, the stolen array. Also, this is from the usage, and from the technical data, we catch the state of health of the battery, for example, the odometers, the voltage on the cells of the battery, and there is a lot of kind of data. I cannot actually provide you in a few minutes the exhaustive kind of data. But if you want, you can contact me and I will give you more information. But this is this kind of data that we use and we catch.
Okay, thank you. We have a question for Emmanuel from Velogic. Yes. I understand that you need to install a GPS tracker or other system to track and collect the bike and collect all your data on your bike data hub. Is it right?
It's right, because having a smart bike is even better. This is what Pierre-Edouard said. But for all people still having hold back, not an e-bike, we will provide a mobile app to replace the GPS system installed on the bike to be able to receive the same type of information. And the purpose of this mobile app will be more to give some challenges to the final user in order to make him the possibility to use it on a daily basis to go on his bike.
Okay, thank you. Another one. Do you receive requests for connected bikes in European city tenders today? Perhaps Pierre-Edouard or Pierre, have you information on this?
Yes, we already talk with cities that want a bike fleet, and they want especially some connected bike, and this is why when we answer the notice of tender, we suggest Velco for the connectivity, and the idea is to arrive with a full pack, including the e-bike and the connectivity system.
In our side, sometimes we help also the cities to specify their needs on the connectivity. And yes, as Pierre-Edouard said, cities after that buy a full package of connectivity, connected bike, and a fleet management system. Yeah.
Okay, another question for you, Pierre. Can one integrate your solution to a Shimano steps e-bike connecting to electric system, engine blocking, etc. and so on?
It is what we do actually on different projects. And so we are compatible with the Shimano step, for example, but some others also equipment provider. And we are working with the CAN bus to do that. We are connected on the CAN bus to do that.
Thank you. A question for you, Emmanuel. How much preventive maintenance can reduce repair needs on batteries?
Oh, okay. That's a tough question. Interesting one. I think predictive and preventative maintenance can reduce the repair needs on battery. This is very difficult to say. It would be 50%, 30%. It depends on your maintenance processes, the bike you have, the quality of the bike you have. But for sure, we can reduce it. This is more or less a market which is quite new on this data analysis. So if I take more the example from Volvo Group, which had a very good improvement thanks to the predictive maintenance, they have been able to reduce the number of repairs. It was not on the battery, but it was on the engine. I mean, maybe by 30% over 10 years, making good improvements on the maintenance processes, on the way they build the spare parts, the way they combine the spare parts each other's, and so on. So I'm sorry if I cannot say numbers today, but for sure we will do it, and time will say how much it will reduce.
Thank you. Thank you. So there is, I think, no more questions for you. perhaps just to conclude in one word, because it's the end of the panel, what is for you the future of smart bikes? How you see it? Pierre, perhaps? You do not have the sound.
Yeah, so the future of the smart bike, you know, we think that the smart bike will be integrated more on the smart cities. So the bike will communicate also with cars, truck, buses also, and infrastructure of the cities to provide a very safe and sustainable user experience on the cities.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for attending and thank you for your attention. Do not hesitate to contact us for more information on the topic on our stand. And thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you,
Merci
Laurent,
beaucoup.
Pierre, Edouard, Emmanuel, Pierre. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll be back at 2 p.m. with
Thank
more
you.
conferences. All right. Bye-bye.